We're a tribe of warriors. In ancient times, we were responsible for patrolling and defending all of Natlan.
So Khan's still managing to sow discord, even after all these years.
If you want to resolve a conflict through dialogue, sometimes you need a third-party facilitator. At this time and place, I'll bet the easiest person to find is...
His spirit has gotten lost and can't find its way back to his body.
I just want to rescue someone, and Granny won't let me.
"500 years later, and it's resurfaced again.
I worry that we risk repeating the mistakes of the Cinder City.
As long as the soul is involved, I should be able to help. Be free!
Take me up!
Time to say hello.
Knock him down.
It's either your end or mine!
Before the final moment truly arrives, we must fight harder than ever.
Tada. Achso, stimmt. Kurz sind ja schon länger da. Die sind ja, glaube ich, nur noch bis spätestens morgen da. Mal kurz raus. Schön.
Hey travelers, welcome to the Genshin Impact version 5.2 special program. I'm Gabe from the Loke team.
And I'm Kai. We meet again. Whoa, a Kukusaur. Want to join us?
Hey, don't be shy. Come out and say hello.
I'm not sure what that meant, but it was adorable.
She approves of your compliment.
Hey, I didn't know you could speak Saurian.
Oh, I can't, but I can make an educated guess based on her body language.
Whoa, are all Kukusaurs as friendly as this one?
Adult Kukusaurs are usually very proud creatures, but there are always exceptions.
Well, since our Kukusaur friend kicked things off for us, I know just the place to start. The Flower Feather Clan.
All right, let's do it. Kukusaurs live among the Flower Feather Clan, which is suspended high above the mountains. This is a tribe of warriors, and most of their people can command the power of the skies. It was the Flower Feather Clan's ancient duty to patrol and safeguard the entire region of Natlan. As elite special forces, their job was to detect threats, disseminate intel, and quickly neutralize any dangers to the nation. Though the circumstances are different now, the tribe never forgot its origins. They still hold trials to assemble the fastest teams in the tribe. The trials test a pilot's skill and teamwork with the Kukusaurs.
Oh, I'm so pumped about these Kukusaurs.
Yeah, Kukusaurs are the proudest out of all the Saurians. They know that they're the kings of the sky. Kukusaurs can consume phlogiston to climb higher or perform a horizontal roll in midair. Holding the sprint button allows them to enter an accelerated glide state after a horizontal roll. In addition, they can even use phlogiston wind tunnels to quickly cover great distances.
Okay, so I'm assuming that Kukusaurs are really hard to tame.
Yeah, that's true. You need to prove yourself in some worthwhile feat, like demonstrating exceptional archery skill during flight. That's the only way to become a true Kukusaur rider.
Wow, that's so
Ob das
strict.
geht jetzt mit den Untertiteln?
Yeah, tell me about it. But okay, now that we've got a glimpse of the Flower Feather Clan, it's time for a quiz.
What? Already?
Yep, I hope you're prepared. Every tribe in that land has a unique
Ansonsten macht
way
Papa
of
sich jetzt mal
communicating
klein.
with their Saurian companions. The members of the Flower Feather clan use a special item to summon their Cucusaurs. What is that item?
A basket filled with their favorite foods?
Here's a hint. We just saw the answer in the previous video.
Oh, I remember now. Horn.
Ding ding ding! Cucusaurs live far from the tribe and from each other, so in order to summon them, the tribe's people use whistles and horns to produce loud noises. So there's your overview of Cucusaurs. Maybe they sound a little unapproachable compared to other Saurians, but don't worry, travelers. If you get into a tough situation, then Chaska, the Flower Feather clan's expert peacemaker, can help mediate the conflict.
Knitch mentioned that her method of mediation is silencing both parties.
Und
Is
der
that true?
Titelposition ist auch eine Wissenschaft für
Well,
sich.
that's only in special cases. Most of the time, Chaska barely needs to intervene. Everyone knows what she's capable of, so people usually find a way to set aside their differences when she shows up.
Oh, so she doesn't just handle conflicts between humans and Saurians. She keeps the peace between people, too.
Exactly. Chaska was corrupted by abyssal power as a child, so she has a strong compulsion to fight, but she knows how to rein it in.
Right. I heard that she was abandoned as a baby. It seems like she's been through a lot.
Yeah, but luckily for her, the Cucusaurs took her in and raised her as one of their own. In addition to hunting and flying, Chaska gained a lot of unique combat experience from her Saurian childhood. When Chaska is in your party, defeating monsters will restore phlogiston to your party. While she's in the Night Soul's blessing state, Chaska can ride and control her gun like a Cucusaur.
Das ist einfach völlig
The Soul
irre.
Sniper doesn't just increase her movement speed
Das
and
sieht so
resistance
geil
to
aus.
interruption, it also allows her to get a better angle on her enemies.
Wow, that mid-air perspective is so cool.
Da bin
It
ich
seems
echt am
so
Überlegen,
Yeah,
ob
and
ich mit
Chaska's
Chaska doch
fierce when
holen
she's in the
sollte.
zone. In the Night Soul's blessing state, Chaska's normal attacks deal
ist immer so
animo damage
schwierig.
to enemies in front of her. Unleashing a
Aber es sieht
charged
schon
attack in
geil
this
aus.
state will cause Chaska to enter a special aiming mode. This allows her to lock onto a set number of enemies within range and fire up to 6 Shadow Hunt shells, which deal animo damage upon impact. In addition, for every Pyro, Hydro, Cryo, or Electro character in your party, one of Chaska's Shadow Hunt shells will undergo an elemental conversion to deal the corresponding type of elemental damage.
Whoa, no way! So Chaska can directly deal other types of elemental damage based on the characters in her party. And since she's an animal character, she can swirl them at the same time. That's awesome!
Yeah, I know, right? Her elemental burst has a similar function too. Chaska fires a gale-splitting Soul Seeker shell during her burst, which deals animo damage. The attack then splits into 6 Soul Seeker shells,
Sieht
which
echt so
continue
wild
to
aus.
attack nearby enemies. These shells can also undergo elemental conversions.
That's so cool! No wonder she's one of the strongest warriors in her tribe.
Speaking of her tribe, the warriors from the Flower Feather clan are formidable for sure, but we should also shed some light on those who aren't as skilled.
Oh, are you talking about the wingless? That's what the tribe calls people who fail the flight trials, right? They're the challengers who fail to earn the recognition of a Cucusaur.
Exactly. But the name doesn't indicate that those people are weak or deserve to be cast aside. The Flower Feather
Yes.
clan has its own definition of strength. There's a tacit understanding that the wingless are supposed to be protected until they can fly by themselves. But that assumption is challenged in Tribal Chronicles Tlalocan. Someone will dare to ask, what if you didn't need a Cucusaur to fly? If you could change the rules, then maybe there wouldn't be any wingless to begin with. Now, whether that's the right path is for us to discover. Chaska will also be there to help us find the answer. So, be sure to check out Chaska's Tribal Chronicle if you're interested in what happens.
Is there anything else that you can tell us?
Remember how I mentioned that Chaska was raised by Cucusaurs?
Yeah, tell us about it.
Her Saurian mother will make an appearance in this quest. Even though she's joined human society, Chaska still goes to visit her Saurian mother on occasion, especially when she needs some help with a tough situation.
Oh, so Cheska still has the soft side, even though she's a fearsome warrior.
Definitely. The Flower Feather Clan is also the setting for the Archon Quest Chapter 5 interlude, All Fires Fuel the Flame. The tribe is facing a crisis, and they'll need the travelers' help to find a solution.
What kind of crisis?
Well, the Flower Feather Clan suffered the worst of the abyssal contamination during the battle in version 5.1. It's not just the human body that can't withstand high concentrations of abyssal power. For most people, it also damages the mind. Many members of the Flower Feather Clan are suffering from the mental repercussions of the abyss, and the tribe is in desperate need of aid. Ian-san will be there too. After rebuilding her own tribe, the Collective of Plenty, she's traveling around Natland to help those in need.
The people of Natland really value unity, don't they? No one fights alone.
Right.
That's one of my favorite things about Natland. Oh, wait. It looks like the captain will also be there.
Yes, the captain will also offer help to the tribe. You may pick up on some interesting information if you pay close attention to what he has to say. The captain rarely gives away too much information in his regular interactions, but his secrecy here seems a little peculiar. So keep an eye out, but of course, restoring Natland's fighting spirit remains the top priority. After all, the war isn't over yet. The abyssal contamination is still around, and we have a very important battle ahead. Natland needs mental fortitude more than ever before.
The Flower Feather Clan is pretty close to the Masters of the Night Wind, where the Ictomosaurs live. That tribe could be another good place to recover from the battle.
Oh yeah, let's check it out.
If you head west from the Stadium of the Sacred Flame and go past the towering walls, you eventually arrive at the settlement of the mysterious Masters of the Night Wind. The tribal settlement offers a unique glowing landscape at night. If you venture even further, then you might encounter the tribe's one Ictomosaur elder or one of the many shamans who can communicate with spirits. I even heard that the witch doctors who live there can help cleanse your spirit. Plus, the graffiti art is really incredible. In fact, there's something special about this one. Can you figure it out, travelers? It's kind of tricky, right? Well, don't worry, the Ictomosaurs can help us out. Ictomosaurs are known for their wisdom. They can use their unique sight to detect things that can't be seen through normal means.
Whoa, okay.
Right. Ictomosaurs are especially skilled at detecting ley lines and phlogiston. They can absorb power from phlogiston objects to enhance their abilities. Doing so allows them to jump higher, move faster, or even obtain surprising rewards. Ictomosaurs can also extract information from graffiti art to create special objects.
Oh, I bet that'll come in handy for solving puzzles.
Definitely, especially in Tribal Chronicles Mictlan, which will become available in version 5.2. The first two acts feature a lot of intriguing puzzles, so be sure to check them out, travelers. Some of them will require the help of an Ictomosaur, and others can be solved on your own.
I noticed that Ictomosaurs can perform fast-paced jumps when they have enough phlogiston, and it looks like so much fun. Do we know anyone who can use that ability? Besides the new Saurian, I mean.
Yes, Auroron can do it too. Like the Ictomosaurs, Auroron has the ability to rise into the air. He also has a keen sense of perception. While charging an aimed shot, Auroron will enter the Spirit Speaker state, allowing him to extract power from Natland's graffiti and runes.
Speaking of Auroron, I was honestly super surprised by his personality. Before the 5.1 Archon quest, I thought that he looked like a stern, stoic, and harsh type of character. But as it turns out, he's just a sweet kid.
Yeah, it's kind of unexpected, right? Is he really that sweet though? Just to think about all the sneaking around behind his granny's back.
Ah, true.
The tribespeople of the Masters of the Night Wind are known for being eccentric. But Auroron really takes it to the next level.
Yeah, it sounds like he does things his own way. I wonder if that extends to his combat abilities.
It does. Auroron is a bit different from the Natland characters we've met so far. He doesn't need to depend on the Night Soul's Blessing state to gain Night Soul points, and he can maintain the Night Soul's Blessing state even while he's off-field.
Ah, that does sound different from the other Natland characters. So how do his abilities work?
Let me start by explaining how Auroran gains Night Soul points. This can happen in multiple ways. For example, Auroran can gain Night Soul points when one of his party members triggers a Night Soul burst. He can also gain them when other party members deal Hydro or Electro attacks to enemies after Auroran unleashes his elemental skill.
Oh, then it sounds like he works well with Hydro and Electro characters.
Yep. And in combat, when enemies take damage from electro-charged reactions or other party members deal Night Soul aligned damage, Auroran can consume Night Soul points to enter the Night Soul's blessing state and trigger the Hypersense effect, dealing electro damage.
Oh, I see. So you need to pair him with the right characters if you want him to gain Night Soul points, enter the Night Soul's blessing state, and trigger the effect.
Exactly. Though I should mention that Auroran doesn't need to be on the field to trigger the Hypersense effect.
Wait, he can trigger it even while he's off-field? That sounds really useful.
Totally. His elemental burst provides a convenient way to deal damage and support your party. Auroran performs an ancient reach roll with his burst to summon a supersonic Oculus, which taunts nearby enemies to draw them in. Once they're up close, the Oculus releases a sound wave to deal damage.
That should be great for crowd control.
Yes! With Auroran in your party, dealing with large groups of enemies should be a lot easier. And speaking of making things easier, Auroran can also improve the exploration experience by boosting the gliding speed of your characters.
Awesome.
Auroran really cherishes his friends. With a little teamwork on his side, I'm sure victory will always be within reach.
Cool.
Oh,
So
schade.
we introduced two of the upcoming regions in this update, the Flowerfeather Clan and the Masters of the Nightwind. But there's more. Version 5.2 actually introduces another new region. It's called
Reaktion.
Oachkanatlan.
Oh, I think we caught a glimpse of this ancient city when we were looking at the Flowerfeather clan. It's really beautiful from far away, but those clouds look kind of ominous. It looks completely abandoned. Is it dangerous?
Yes, this is a restricted area in that land due to its severe abyssal contamination, and it seems uninhabited. Over the years, many adventurers have come here in search of treasure or to slay the dragon. Unfortunately, none of them have ever returned. The Flowerfeather clan often sends riders to patrol the area and to prevent people from getting too close.
Wait, did you say slay the dragon?
Yeah, I know we introduced some adorable saurians earlier, but this creature is actually really terrifying. It occupies this ancient city and guards it fiercely. If it detects an intruder, then it will attack without hesitation.
Okay, that's pretty concerning.
It's easy to take human-saurian coexistence for granted these days, but it actually took generations of effort to reach this point. This
Alle
relationship
Distings
wasn't
erinnern mich
nearly so
irgendwie
harmonious
an-
in the ancient
War
past.
das in
Travelers will need to
Sumeru?
explore
Da eine
Oachkanatlan to uncover the reason behind this dragon's rampage.
Oder
Of
war das
course,
auf dem...
travelers won't have to do this alone. Here, take a look.
Gott, wie heißt dieses Ding?
Oh, what's that?
This is a very important companion who will help us explore Oachkanatlan. His name is Kokoweek. As for his power, well, why don't you take a guess?
Okay,
That's all right.
is he our moral support? You know, maybe he could make a cute noise every now and then to cheer us
Oh,
up.
schon wieder was Süßes.
Hey, let's not put our Tapetlasaur friend out of a job. Little one works really hard.
Okay, then I've got nothing.
Remember how I mentioned that Oachkanatlan is heavily corroded by the abyss? Well, that's where Kokoweek comes in. We can use his power to clear abyssal contamination. Follow the direction indicated by his light to collect secret source scraps and enhance his power. Once Kokoweek has enough power, you can take him to track down the evil dragon.
What a useful little guy.
I know, right? Now, travelers can explore Oachkanatlan with two companions, Kokoweek and Little One. In fact,
Aw,
I've heard there's
Hikaru-chan.
even a special
Oh,
token
Sophia
around here that can
Hikaru-chan.
enable Little One to traverse a volcano.
Hmm.
A new adventure with Little One awaits in version 5.2. This update will bring us one step closer to uncovering the mysteries of Little One's past. Familiar saurian companions can also help us explore Oachkanatlan. For example, with the help of a Kaholasaur, we can evade source mechanism attacks. With the help of an Ikitomisaur, we can solve certain puzzles. With the help of a Kukusaur, we might even be able to chase down the evil dragon. But we'll leave the rest for you to discover, travelers.
Wait, are those some kind of lava fish? Does this mean we can fish in Netland?
Yes, but I've got some friendly advice, travelers. You should be very careful while exploring Ochkanatlan. Some of the abyssal monsters here can distort their appearance to mimic powerful enemies. High-level monsters such as the tenebrous Papilla can mimic even stronger enemies.
Oh, das sieht
It
echt
looks like
nervig
these
aus.
monsters take the form of plants outside of combat.
Yep, that's true. The Abyss has corroded Natlan's ley lines, allowing these monsters to read the memories inside of them and mimic creatures from
Immer noch
Teyvat.
krass, wie
How
sie
do
da
we
in der Luft
defeat
mit der
them?
Knabbel
Travelers will need to use
rumschwebt.
elemental attacks to break the enemy's protective void wards. Doing so allows them to take damage and causes them to enter a brief state of confusion. Night Soul aligned elemental attacks are especially effective against these wards.
Wow, the Abyss has gotten so advanced. It's scary to think about how much harder these fights will get if these abyssal monsters continue to evolve.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a lot of information to take in at once. But before we take our first break, we still have a couple of short announcements. Really short, I promise. First up, limited time exploration rewards will be available in version 5.2. Just like in version 5.1, travelers can earn up to 400 extra Primo Gems. And the rewards will be
Nice,
available
zwei
all the
Wünsche.
way through version 5.3. It's now time to introduce the event wishes. In the first half of version 5.2, travelers can look forward to event wishes from Chaska and Lenny. Auroran will also receive a drop rate
Da muss ich echt gucken, ob
and
ich
in the
Polen
second
möchte
half
oder
of
nicht.
version 5.2, we'll have returning event wishes for Zhongli and New Villette. The
Das
weapon
ist
banner
übel
will
für
feature
neue
a new
Spieler, der
5-star
zweite
bow,
Banner,
Astro Vulture's
die
Crimson
noch keinen
Plumage,
von
and
beiden
2 new
haben.
Natland specific 4-star weapons. Be sure to check them out if you're interested.
All right, it's time for our first break. Once we come back, we'll dive right into the event portion.
Oh, schon wieder was süß. Auch wenn man davon ein Kuscheltierchen hätte. Oh, das wäre schön. Ob Pokémon wohl auch da hinterher ist und MiHoYo jetzt bald verklagt. Ah, es sieht aber sehr verdächtig nach Pokémon aus. Welche verklagen? Ah. Oh. Oh, da kommt ja eine ganze Armee.
Welcome back, travelers.
Welcome back! Let's dive straight into the event section. So in the first event, we'll get to learn more about the Masters of the Nightwind.
That's right. In the version 5.2 event, Ikitomi Spirit Seeking Scrolls, travelers will team up with Citlali and Auroran to get to the bottom of a mysterious accident that occurred within their tribe.
Travelers will need to complete combat challenges to defeat enemies who try to disrupt the ritual.
Oh Gott, nicht schon wieder. Oh mein Gott, nicht schon wieder.
They'll also need to reconstruct scenes
Okay.
from the tribe's woven scrolls and gather lost spirits scattered throughout the region. Travelers will only be able to uncover the truth if they collect all the clues. But don't worry, there are also various rewards to earn along
war
the
schon
way,
wieder eine
including
beschissene
Primo Gems.
Ooh, I
Internetverbindung
really like the
gebrochen.
vibe of this event. It looks like Citlali is performing some kind of ritual. It's also mysterious.
When a situation gets tough, it's Granny to the rescue.
Naja gut, diesmal nehme ich das zumindest lokal einmal auf.
Really fun dialogue in this event.
I'm always grabbing the
Das
popcorn
heißt, wenn
whenever
das
these
jetzt
two
unterbricht,
interact.
ist das
They're
kein
practically
Problem.
a two-person show. And speaking of
Trotzdem
fun,
nervig.
let's get into the event gameplay. First up is the Search for Lost Spirits minigame. Travelers will have to work together to herd the scattered roaming spirits into specific zones to earn points. Pay attention to the conditions on the field if you want a higher score. For example, travelers can jump on stone slabs that appear on the field. These slabs will break open and release even more spirits. Storms
schon
may
wieder so ein
also appear during the
Koop-Event.
game. You can track
Schrecklich.
down spirits more effectively if you pay attention to the direction of the storms.
In Evil Banisher, travelers will need to select the right teams to complete the objectives. Completing all of the objectives will award you the Banishing Aura, which allows you to deal AoE damage by spraying paint at enemies.
That paint really matches the Masters of the Nightwind's aesthetic. It's super cool.
Yeah, and so does the Spirit Loom in restoring fragmented records. Citlali will use her powers to reveal special fragments. Travelers will need to
Puzzlespiel.
piece these fragments together and assemble them on a woven scroll.
Make sure that you pay attention to the order and positions of the fragments. Oh, there's something else that we should mention. Travelers can obtain a new 4-star sword by completing this event. The design definitely fits the Masters of the Nightwind. It looks like some kind of ceremonial artifact.
Schickes
I
Ding.
totally agree. Oh, and this event will allow travelers to learn more about Natland's secrets. For example, this quest will reveal new clues about a mysterious and legendary place, the Mare Javari.
Wow, we've been hearing about this place since Mondstadt. It'll be nice to get some new information. On a related note, the Adventurers Guild has prepared a new trial for its members. Active adventurers have been invited to take on the
Absolutely.
challenge, including the Traveler. Travelers will need to complete various challenges with designated characters and fully leverage their skills to earn rewards. I know you're up to the challenge, Travelers. Good luck.
In Mondstadt-related news, the Knights of Favonius are conducting a war game to improve security tactics in the region. And who better to test these tactics than the Honorary Knight? Be sure to pay close attention to the game, since the format has changed this time. Travelers will need to select combat units and stratagems to deploy against the opposing formation. Once the lineup is set, the monsters will fight automatically. Available combat units and stratagems are completely random, just to build some unpredictability into the wargame. The chances of encountering elite combat units increases as the wargame progresses. Even more elite monsters will be available for travelers to use. It's a volatile environment, so do your best to win as many rounds as possible, earn wargame medals, and collect the rewards.
All right, let's keep the excitement rolling in this next event. We actually have a demo, so please take a look.
Oh, looks like
du
they're
liebes
selecting
bisschen das
tactics.
Kartenspiel.
Double damage? That sounds powerful.
Oh Gott, ist wirklich das Kartenspiel.
Whoa, it's automated. Cool. The elemental reaction effects are completely different.
This brand new heated
Aber
battle mode
Autokampf
is called
klingt zumindest
Automatic
okay.
Artistry. Powerful
Muss man
support
keinen
cards
Finger
have been
abkramen.
added for nearly every elemental reaction. Choose cards that align with your strategies
So
to
habe ich
trigger
Duel Links
powerful
auch fast
elemental
immer
reactions.
gespielt.
The effects will change depending on how you play. In addition, the overall gameplay is very laid back. Characters will automatically duel each other, and skill animations are now shorter in length.
Wow, it's like we got a whole new Genius Invocation TCG after coming back from Natland. Talk about whiplash.
That's right. Even if you've never played Genius Invocation before, I really recommend checking out this new gameplay mode in version 5.2. The new version will also bring a few updates to regular Genius Invocation TCG.
Do you ever feel a little cooped up while you're playing card games? Well, don't worry about that. Our next event will give travelers the opportunity to enjoy the great outdoors. In Claw Convoy, travelers will need to help Lamia track down some adopted animals. Travelers will be able to see the animal's point of view by using a special tool.
Ach so, dieses
Once you've
Event,
managed to
ja.
deduce their location, you'll be able to track them down. Once the animals are safe and sound, travelers will receive a gift from the mysterious figure who adopted them. I feel like Auroran would really shine in this event. He's definitely an animal lover.
I can see that. I'm sure that he would jump at the chance to meet animals from other nations.
Yeah.
Finally, the ley line overflow event will return in version 5.2. If you
Yeah,
need
man.
Mora or character EXP materials, then keep an eye out.
Alright, let's dive into some updates and game optimizations.
Yeah.
First up is the change to the Imaginarium Theater. Previously, travelers would be returned to the theater lobby after completing a challenge and have to reopen the Fantasia Tome to continue.
Okay,
Travelers
das ist echt
provided
nervig.
feedback that this setup interrupted their experience. So, this will no longer be the case in version 5.2. Now, after finishing a battle, all you need to do is click Next Act if you want to keep fighting.
Oh,
Nice.
das ist jetzt
Travelers
super.
can now enjoy the thrill of combat without any interruptions.
Also das war
And for
wirklich
all
immer
the
das
generous
Nervigste an
travelers who
dem
like to configure supports for their
Theater.
friends,
Man
a
kämpft da einen
supporting
Akt
caster record has been
und
added
dann
in
wird
the
man
new update.
genötigt, wieder in
You
den
can
Raum
now
zu
check
gehen, um
which
das Buch
friends have
wieder
borrowed your
aufzumachen.
supports by
Vollkommen
looking at the
dumm.
supporting cast screen.
Wer hätte eigentlich
Cool.
gedacht, dass das eine
It'll be
gute
nice to
Idee
know that our
ist?
supports are helping people out.
Yup. Oh, and the party configuration mechanic has also been optimized. Besides
Vermutlich
elemental
dieselben, die
filtering,
bei
the Imaginarium
Sondersendung
Theater will
gedacht
now
haben,
feature recommended row icons,
dass man bei
elemental
dem-
statistics,
bei den
and
Domänen,
markers
bei
for main
denen da
types of enemies.
That is so helpful.
Nur
I'll
dreimal was
occasionally put
machen kann
together
und
a
der eine
random team if
Zwangspause
I've just
bekommt.
started experimenting with some characters, but this
Völlig
information
Banane.
should make it a lot easier to form strategic teams.
These markers will display key information on how to counter enemies, but in a much more prominent position. Hopefully,
aber auch
this
sehr
change
nett.
will make it easier for travelers to form the best teams.
Yes.
Gerade für
Now we
Volltrottel
can
wie
directly
mich.
see which elements work best against specific enemies. That's definitely going to save some time.
For sure. And we can expect even more optimizations in the future as travelers continue to provide valuable feedback about their experiences. Okay, let's introduce the other system optimizations coming in version 5.2. You can outsort 5-star artifacts in your inventory based on when you obtained them, from the most recent to the oldest.
Das ist
Second,
nice.
the animations for crafting materials, forging weapons, building furniture, and cooking dishes are now shorter in length.
That's really nice. The dev team designed
Das
a
ist auch
lot of
nice.
intricate
Wobei
animations
ich das
for
auch
these
gut
features,
gefunden hätte,
but
wenn
it
man
can
das
feel a bit
überspringen könnte,
frustrating when you have to
diese,
watch them over and over
Animation.
again.
There will
Aber
also
gut,
be
kürzer
several
ist auch schon mal was
optimizations for the
Gutes.
Serena teapot. The seed dispensary can now hold more of every type of seed. You'll be able to purchase wood at the Realm Depot in exchange for Realm currency. In addition, the cooldown for the boon of the Elder Tree will be reduced to 5 seconds.
Oh,
This
das ist
way,
echt ein Segen.
it'll be easier for travelers to collect wood.
Awesome. I've been
Das ist
meaning
immer so
to use some
beschissen, da
cool
15
replicas in
Sekunden
my
zu
Serena
warten,
teapot, but I'm always
wenn du
short
da in der
on
Nähe
wood.
von so,
So
einem,
this should
von
be
so einer
really helpful.
Baumgruppe bist.
Nice! I'm so excited for you! Oh, and optimizations have been made to artifact locking. The updated lock assistance interface will allow you to configure lock settings with a single click. Just hit Use Recommended Settings and you're set. The recommended set lock plans will even update automatically based on popular in-game configurations. Of course, if you have your own ideas in mind, then you can always disable the recommended plans to configure custom ones instead.
The update also allows you to batch lock artifacts in your inventory based on the recommended general lock plan and set lock plans. This will make it much faster to organize your inventory. In addition, a shortcut button that navigates to the lock assistance interface will be added to the artifact domain challenge screen and the artifact acquisition screen. This should make it easier for travelers to configure their locking rules whenever they want. A star feature will also be added next to the lock button on each artifact. Travelers can use this feature to mark their favorite artifacts and filter by stars to quickly track them down.
Finally, treasure compasses will now be able to locate even more treasure locations, including Sealies and time trial challenges.
Oh,
A quick
das
swap
ist ein
feature
Segen.
will also be added for treasure compasses and Oculus Resonance
Das
stones.
ist ein fucking
Enabling
Segen.
this feature will allow travelers to more easily use these devices across regions. The feature will automatically switch to the compass or stone that corresponds to your location in the game.
Awesome!
Be sure to check out future announcements for more details on the version 5.2 optimizations.
Alright, that was a lot of info, so this seems like a good time for our second break.
It's time for the third redemption code.
Bei der Entwicklerdiskussion stand ja auch noch was davon, dass die den Schaden von Elementarreaktionen von, ich glaube, Sprießen und Dingsbums, also so diese Dendro-Blitz-Reaktion, glaube ich, dass sie da ein bisschen auch was den Schaden ein bisschen erhöhen. Das klang auch eigentlich recht. Mein höherer Schaden, ohne irgendwas machen zu müssen, klingt ja immer gut. Aber mir gefällt das eigentlich bisher. Also die Events, muss man sagen. Und die 3 neuen Gebiete sehen so aus, als wäre man da ein bisschen mehr beschäftigt als jetzt 2 Wochen. Oder zumindest mehr als eine Woche oder so, aber...
Welcome back, travelers. What else do we have on the agenda,
Was
Gabe?
haben wir denn
We
noch?
have some very exciting news to share. After the version update on November 20th, travelers will be able to play Genshin Impact on the Xbox Series X and S. Log into Genshin Impact on Xbox Series X and S consoles to receive the Wind Glider Wings of Fate's Course Intertwined. Additionally, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members can play Genshin Impact via cloud gaming. They'll also find extra rewards in their in-game mailbox.
Awesome.
All right,
Tragisch.
that
Ich hab
should
keine
be everything.
Xbox Series
That
X
means that we've
oder
reached
S.
the end of the special program. Is there anything that you want to say before we go, Kai?
Yes, I'm really looking forward to all the new characters. Chaska and her weapons seem really incredible. I'd love to see how her travel chronicle unfolds because she has such an amazing personality. And Auroran seems like a very layered character. The storytelling is definitely going to shine. What about you, Gabe?
Yeah, I'm just so excited for players to experience more of the Natlan storyline, and we have so much to explore this time. I mean, 2 new tribes and a new area as well. And one thing I've always loved about Genshin Impact is how it's multi-platform. Like, I'm always logging in on different devices depending on where I am, so it's just exciting to see another platform become available for everyone.
Yeah.
And yeah, on that note, I hope you have fun with the new version, travelers.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Ja, das war doch... das war doch schön. Dann machen wir mal weiter. Also, ah,